That's me blocking bullets. Be honest, how many people are wearing this thing in the thumbnails of their videos and or doing this? Well, screw it, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna take this thing off. Do I have an imprint in my head right now? So Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins, stars Gal Gadot. This is the fourth DC film in the DC Cinematic Universe. I believe it's the first live-action Wonder Woman movie. A lot is riding on Wonder Woman for a lot of people. In Wonder Woman, we meet Wonder Woman, aka Diana Prince. She's an Amazon. She lives in Themyscira, which is an island of all warrior women. I'm sure they have some authors. A lot of them are warriors, though. Then a pilot named Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, crashes his plane on this island of all women. First man Diana's ever seen. He's a pilot from World War I, and he tells tale of this huge war that's happening. So Diana's like, I'll go with you to your world and help stop this war. So now we have our Wonder Woman movie. And really, the first half of this movie doesn't have all the crazy kick-assery you saw in the trailer. It really is her climatizing to our world. She enters our world, she enters London, and she really is a fish out of water, which allows for a lot of comedy. And I really feel that they got the comedy right in this movie. It kind of reminded me, it's in the vein of Crocodile Dundee, how this person from this other land comes to what we know as normal, and it is completely abnormal to them. I don't know, like, by normal, I mean, it takes place in World War I, so not a lot of people living today know that world as normal, but there is a lot in that world that we still do know and relate to in our world. But to Diana, it's completely bafflingly weird. And talking about the comedy, Chris Pine really adds a lot to that. Chris Pine was great in this movie. He's just the perfect person to cast. You saw that in the trailer where she was like, I was conceived by Zeus, and he's like, well, that's neat. That timing that he has completely plays in this movie and plays well. I feel like Chris Pine, even though he's been James T. Kirk, is a completely underrated talent with great timing and delivery. Now, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, credit where credit's due. When I heard she was Wonder Woman, I was like, they got a model to be Wonder Woman. Okay. But she put in the time, she's all toned, she's got biceps, like, she could kick my ass. Let's face it, she could have kicked my ass when she was, before she worked out for Wonder Woman. But as for Wonder Woman, she completely played well. She didn't play perfectly. Like, for example, Chris Pine, you look at him, there are very few people I could pick to play Steve Trevor as well as Chris Pine did per what they were going for. I feel like there are a few women out there who could have played Wonder Woman. A couple of the moments where she has to bring out the emotion, she brings out the emotion. Doesn't stick all of the landings, just being honest. However, she did play well. I didn't walk out of the movie going, well, she ruined it. I thought she was good. But she really does shine in the action sequences. I don't know where the stunt person plays into this, but when Wonder Woman is kicking ass, you're like, yeah, this is pretty exciting. That scene where she goes out on the battlefield and she's just taking all the fire with her shield, that scene is as cool as you want it to be. That happens about halfway through the movie. And when that scene happens the movie moves. It's like, all right, the fish out of water thing, the funnies, the camaraderie, it's gone. Time to move forward with the mission. And it is some exciting stuff. When the slow-mo starts happening, there's a lot of slow-mo in the action sequences. At first, you're like, whoa, yeah, like Matrix style. Then later on, you're like, they use a lot of slow-mo for these action sequences. But really, when an action sequence is going down and there's no slow-mo and it's just moving really fast, to me, that's more exciting. But what really locked me into this movie was the humanity that Wonder Woman shows. And really, that is credit for Patty Jenkins, the director, and Gal Gadot, the actor. Yeah, she's super, and she can go toe-to-toe with Superman any day. But in the end, she is a human being. She feels pain, she feels loss, she feels pressure. And when she lets it all out, she can rage clear a room. The movie, although it has solid kick-assery when it goes down, is not an action-centric movie. It's actually a very personal story about Diana. It's a coming-of-age story. She doesn't really know all of her powers, so she's learning it as she goes along. So they make Diana strong in this movie without browbeating you. It's not like, oh, men bad, Wonder Woman good. Because that's not really what it should be. Wonder Woman is a strong character because she exhibits strength, not because the men around her exhibit weakness. And I thought that was a really important thing. There are a couple of great moments of heart. There is a scene where Steve Trevor and Diana are talking about humanity. It is probably my favorite scene in the movie. It's just such good dialogue. I'm not going to tell you what it just really hit me. Guys, in the end, I completely enjoyed Wonder Woman. There are some problems with pacing in the first part of the movie. It is another big end fight that happens. DC movies, man, they love their big end fights. I felt like by the end of the ending, it came across as a little cheap, but the movie as a whole has a lot of good payoff. There is a lot of pressure on this movie for a lot of people. There are people who want Wonder Woman to represent strong women. I totally get that. There are people who want Wonder Woman to save the DC cinematic universe for them. I totally get that. And there are some people who just want to enjoy a good movie. I totally get that. And I think if you're any of those people, you'll walk out of Wonder Woman being like, yeah, it paid off. Wonder Woman was fun. It was exciting. Chris Pine was great. I think the director, Patty Jenkins, really crushed it. I think they really utilized the fact that Wonder Woman takes place so far before the Justice League and all that stuff's going down. You had the freedom to just break off and be its own movie. If you haven't seen any movies in the DC cinematic universe, you could watch Wonder Woman and not be lost. There's one scene at the beginning that kind of ties it in a little bit, but you don't need it though. I feel like I kind of hamstrung myself on this one with the Suicide Squad because you remember my rating for Suicide Squad? Yep, there it is. Yeah, people on the internet love their ratings, and this is better than Suicide Squad, so I will say Wonder Woman is worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. Alright guys, so Wonder Woman, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what are your hopes for Wonder Woman? What do you want to see? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.